Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 10:56 a.m. on the 27th of February 2023. I'm feeling very wrung out and exhausted for the usual reasons. Up all night again, and even spent from 3 a.m. till almost 5 a.m. writing up some trance drumming notes because I was wide awake and couldn't sleep, and thought, instead of lying in bed splonging around in the Shadowlands as I often do, I'll do something with my time. Don't worry, the trance drumming notes were mostly psychobabble and nonsense anyway, but probably was a waste of my time. But I'm trying to turn shit to spiritual gold, people, as I do and have done all my life. Just gonna make a quick duck for the can't find the air conditioning remote because it's very hot in here. So as you can see, I'm not dressed. I haven't even brushed my hair, and the plan is I'm going to make this video, probably crawl back into bed, try and get some more rest. I had a lot of things I wanted to do today. I had a fantasy about driving down to Capalaba to Golden Circle to buy some food, and then I had another fantasy about going to Officeworks and printing out some old status updates on my Facebook archive that I'm trying to make sense out of something. And again, nonsensical and holding on tight to realities that probably I shouldn't be holding tight to, since they're not attainable. But I just thought I just wanted to pinpoint where things shifted, that this connection started to blossom out, and I can't quite put my finger in it. I'm trying to analyse if I've gone completely stuck, raving mad, or if the emotions are reciprocated and heartfelt and genuine, and I'm not actually being played. See how I get paranoid when I don't sleep? Jesus, this is why I'm still single, people. The paranoia kicks in, and because I've had a lifetime of very intensive, epic abuse, the paranoia is a survival mechanism to say, just put the skids on this, Tanya, and be cool to after school, and try not to get too carried away with things, which I haven't done. I've been good, been really good this time, because I value the friendship more than anything else. And it's good that we're friends. I need my friends in my life. My life is very, very fragmented and small indeed. But so I wanted to go and print out these writings of mine and figure out how much is me the idealization process, and how much is actually authentic, genuine, heart-based. And I know it's silly. I could print out 1,000,000,000,000,000,000 books and it still wouldn't tell me anything really, because if someone is just stirring me up and teasing me along, well, the truth always comes out in the end, babies. It always does. Or they bail on you just when things were looking interesting. You know who that person was. And but it's okay. Look, I'm totally okay. Whatever happens in my life is completely orchestrated and played and manipulated at times, which I do not like being manipulated. But it's all comes down to destiny and fate and little trickster gods, and sometimes higher realms like my archangels, shifting things into harmonic resonance so that I don't get fucked over again. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to show me potentials and show me the love that, I have always wanted all my life since, arriving on this planet. I wonder what my previous incarnations were like, because I seem to be obsessed with having love in this life. But that's probably because I nearly died so many times and none of it made sense that I'm still here, so I'm trying to find the ever search for meaning, right? Anyway, I come all blotchy and sticky and freckly and woozy and oozy and beautiful and delightful and adorable. But I am, it's so hot out there. I was going to put Charlie outside, but it just looks so grey and overcast. I thought, it's too hot. I'll take her out later when it cools down. I mean, it's 30 degrees at 11 a.m, so I don't know what the maximum is today, but it feels sticky today. It feels like walking through Dave Charles' energy signature when I sight him at various intersections and places. It feels like you're being covered in thick, sludgy, oozy treacle or molasses, and it's glued to your auric field and it's gonna fucking smother you. I'm sure he'd love to smother me. I'm sure he'd love to. They all did, didn't they, ultimately? Tried to strangle the life out of me. Well, he didn't do it with his own bare hands, but he had other ways of being cruel. So there is that. 31 degrees now, it says. Partly sunny, 31 degrees. So, yeah, that's just my laptop gauging the temperature. It's probably not all that accurate, people. But I can't look at my iPhone weather app because I'm filming and I'm talking to you and being random. Anyway, here we go with my usual trauma processing and sometimes astonishing little spiritual epithets and sweet little segues and sweet little experiences that are inspiring and sweeten up my life a little bit, that sometimes come out of left field and are astonishing. So here I write, the title is Slings and Arrows, my darling Desiree. Desiree is my middle name. I was named after the mistress or the first fiance of Napoleon Bonaparte. Probably another past life attachment, which explains why my love life is still not happening in a far out way and weird. But she came out of it all right, little Desiree. Little Desiree ended up marrying the King of Sweden and doing very well for herself indeed. I don't think I have much chance of marrying kings of Sweden given my current state of discombobulation, but a certain little Aussie girl was drinking beer in a pub and ended up marrying the Prince of Denmark, who is now king. So stranger things have been known to happen. Anyway, I'm not aspiring to be a king or a king's mistress or a king's sweetheart. When I say I'm manifesting a king to my queen, what I mean by that is an adult man of sophistication and couth and class and human decency who can meld with my spirit, which is a warrior goddess queen of great mana who's fought through immense atrocities in my life, and I need a man that's mature and sophisticated enough to handle my energy, right? Not these little tiny little princelings and acopic waifs. I guess my king to my queen could mean he's just as acopic and broken as I am, but we'll be equals so we won't notice, right? That could happen too. But someone that's broken but is still a beautiful soul and a loving soul and a kind soul. Because I can't deal with any more psychopaths or narcissists or Machiavellian types. I'm done. I'm drained from it all. Can you see it in my face? I'm just wrung out. I haven't had to deal with any in a long time. So just the thought of it wears me out. But anyway, Be'ezrat Hashem, I never have to deal with any of those types ever again. That the gods will smile upon me, send me a beautiful, heartfelt man who adores me, values and cherishes me, treats me with kindness and sweetness, as I experience with my beautiful platonic male friends, but who happens to also be a lover as well. I want it all, people. I want it all. Crazy. It is a bit crazy, given my life history, to even want that. It's just crazy. That's why I switch on and switch off at will. I posted this. I don't have a photo for today's readings of my own. I wasn't inspired to put anything up, but I like this photo. This looks like a woman's hand just gently reaching out, creating a little tiny break in the surface tension of the water, little tiny eddies, and you see the reflection of her hand. Sometimes that's how I feel, like I'm just on the edge of breaking through something, but is it going to be a deep dive into the abyss, or is it going to be an uplifting, beautiful, buoyant rising from the bottoms of the ocean? One can never tell. One can never really tell sometimes. And that's the magic of life, that even now, at this late stage of my life, I may still yet be surprised by something and or someone completely wonderful. 27th of February 2023. Oh dear Goddess, this was only 6 months before he died. My beautiful boy. He's actually lying on his back with his head pressed against mine, snuggling. My sweet little angel face. Oh, I had no idea he had that terrible spleen or mass. He would have been unwell even in that photo. I had no idea. He hid it so well, my little one. Beauregard wants his mama, as she's been so busy with the Force and Yoda for the past few days. So he was claiming my attention at last. Rightfully so, because I was his mama, not Yoda's mama, although I was creating Yoda out of sterling silver. So I guess I'm kind of Yoda's mama in that weird way. But anyway, here's a close-up photo of Yoda. I darkened the, patinaed the silver, try and give him a more darker look. And yes, very happy with that. Very happy indeed. And I made one for my friend Lynn as well, and she was very happy with it too. And here's some New Zealand sixpence earrings with my actual birth year on them. I should wear them. They haven't sold, I'll just fucking wear them. What the fuck? Waste not, want not. I made all these beautiful things and none of it sold. So I might dig those out and wear those. Maybe for my birthday, 1965. On my birthday. Why not? Thinking about making more, which is kind of crazy since the few pairs I made didn't sell. I gave a nice pair of threepence to my cousin Melissa Rose in Cairns, and she was happy with that. So here's another pair. New Zealand shilling with the Māori chief, the Māori chief on it. But yes, that was when I was teaching myself soldering things on and practicing, and so there's a little bit of, I can see there's a little hole where it started to melt, but you know what? I don't mind. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's not being sold, it doesn't matter. And somebody might like it with its quirky imperfections. So there is that. Now the temperature's dropped to 29 degrees from 31. I think my laptop's telling big whopping curlies. Yeah, I took my beads out during the night. They're quite heavy, and I've had them in since Friday night. So I took them out. Now I'm all frizzy and but it's okay. Just they started to annoy me in the middle of the night. It's because I wasn't sleeping, so I was lying there fussing. Anyway, 4:17 p.m. Exhausted but happy. I finished Yoda at 3:40 p.m. I worked hard on him, sanding and filing and polishing out his rough edges. He's a fine, gentle spirit now. I'm walking through the forest with Beauregard and Charlie. She is sitting on my shoulder singing to me, happy to be outside on a walk with her dog and her mama tea. Man, I feel dehydrated. I've had 1 cup of tea and 1 glass of water to take my medication with. I'm going to cut out tea today. I was up all night again. I think it's the tea aggravating it. I'm my own worst enemy. I really am. I'm a dickhead at times. So there'll be no tea for the rest of today, and I'll see how I go tonight. Probably won't make any difference, but it's worth a try. But yeah, my throat even feels dry and like I'm not choking, but might even go and get a glass of water. I feel icky. Anyway, the ickiness is probably more to do with the fact that I haven't slept. There she is. Mama T with her little Charlie. And here's Yoda all finished up, complete with jump ring. I was very excited about that. Very, very excited. Still excited about it, that I mastered that new skill that was actually an advanced technique. It took me a long time to master. I had a lot of help, but when I did finally do it, oh, the triumph and the excitement. My former lover, former enemy, David Davidson, once looked me square in the face and said, "You can do anything, Tanya." At the same time, concurrent to all his friends sitting around, leering at me, humiliating me, and saying vicious things about my marriage, which was actually, they knew nothing about my marriage. They weren't even around when I was married. It was just toxic. And I think he felt embarrassed, so he said, "You can do anything, Tanya." I was actually sitting there thinking, if I had an Uzi right now, I'd just shoot you all. But not because I'm a Nazi, don't get me wrong. And not because I'm an Israeli soldier either, don't get me wrong. But those dirty, low-level cunts, the way they used to treat me when I used to encounter them at his home or elsewhere in the community, it was foul, really foul. It's pretty bad when your enemy takes pity on you and tells you you can do anything, Tanya. You probably could see it flickering in my eyes, because he knew me well. We had been lovers. You could see me thinking, you low-level dogs, why don't you just fucking crawl away somewhere and just die? In the end, it was me that tried to die from all the cumulative trauma and the stress they all put me through. Oh, the irony. I still struggle sometimes with wanting to die because my life's been so fucking awful. But I remember things like that happening, and even him defending me, my enemy, probably one of my worst enemies in my life, since he cost me my rightful inheritance, right? But defending me in front of his filthy, low-grade, schlocky friends and the woman he married. Tanya can do anything. Stop it now. Wow. If Tanya really could have done anything, she wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. So there is that. Anyway, here's what Yoda looked like after I'd polished him, but I hadn't cut off his sprue yet because I decided it would be easier to polish him with the sprue still attached, which indeed it was. But yeah, Tanya, the Tanya, or Mama T, psychedelic dreamer, Miss 5, can and will do anything as long as she can get some rest eventually and can recalibrate from this current horoscope she's living through, trying to survive the exhaustion. I will be okay. I know I will, but it's just a long haul at the moment. The long haul and the lights at the end of the tunnel, and I hope it's not a fucking train. February 27th, 2021. I think I posted that photo yesterday, didn't I? It looks similar. Because I commented on my anklet that I need to replace. Oh well, it is what it is. My little baby Bobo. Bobo baby. Boda bo, boda bee, boda bing bam bum. My little Bobo boy. 10:13 a.m. Just missed the angels' synchronicity, but they have been active lately. Something is shifting or recalibrating in my heart and soul. This was in 2021, people, 3 years ago. It's been a lot of shifting and recalibrating. Well, we had a lot to recalibrate from in the last 4 years, didn't we? Just saying. Some of us are still rocking and reeling from it all, finding our equilibrium. Day 4 back on HRT. That was not a fucking good idea at all, given it blew out my gallbladder, which has been an emotional, frenetic roller coaster, but I feel calmer today, probably exhausted. I slept well, only waking around 2:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. and got up about 20 minutes ago feeling rested. Phew. I went off it again. As all this pharmacological violations of our body autonomy, half of it just makes us even more sicker in other areas of the body that we're not conscious of. It worries me greatly, really does. Years and years of it. Who's walking past there? Don't know. Don't recognise the lady. Oh, Val. Doesn't impact on my life, people. I'm just being hyper-vigilant, as I usually am with my CPTSD. If I'm out here and I can see out the window, I'm observing. I'm now sitting with my book, Desiree, which I have still not finished. only third of the way through. It was about Desiree Bonaparte's fiancé. I got bored with it halfway. The style of writing was it won awards and everything back in the day. The writing was not my usual style that I like, so I struggled through it, forced myself to finish it in the end and thought, I'm bored. This book is bloody boring. But sometimes it's my mental space I'm in at the time too. But anyway, I had to read it because I'm her namesake. My sister, my half-sister, my enemy, insisted that I be named after her when I was born because she'd just read that book. Wanted me to be the whore of Napoleon, right? Oh, I have had great men come and go in my life. Truly great men, kind men, supportive men. 3 rabbis. Greatness. But I'm yet to meet a man, a king to my queen that can handle me yet. The rabbis were not like that, wasn't that kind of relationship. Don't twist my words, people. I'm just saying, I've had great and wonderful people fight for me, not once, but many, many times. It's partly why I'm alive today. A cup of tea at my side, and my trusty Charlie is with me too. Delightful little bird lady, so devoted. The dragon fruit has big, sultry flowers that the bees are frantically pollinating, but she has had 3 flushes already, and each time her flowers shriveled and fell without bearing fruit. Situation out there again, flowering magnificently, but I'll get no fruit. But I am enjoying her big fat cactusy blossoms anyway, and hoping for our most beneficial outcome, as I always do. I too bore many fruits that lay on the hard and broken, uncultivated ground in a grief of unfulfillment that echoed across decades. But shh, little cactus and your human prickly pear, sabra. We bear our fecundity and bloom in the darkness, and if our flowers fell on unanointed, devalued ground, then that too was our fate. One day we will burst forth and create our highest, most potent magic, and the world will stand in awe, even if it's only awesome in our own mind and legacy, laughing my ass off. From dereliction to megalomania is just a slippery slide away. Snakes and ladders, or climbing Jacob's ladder on his stairway to heaven, is an art form that takes determination, courage, and intrepid persistence. Like a non-fruiting but ever-blooming cactus. It's all horseshit till someone gets hurt, and I have pricked my finger on that malfeasance. Enough. Giggles. The air is thick with humidity, so perhaps we will get some rain later. Same situation here, even date 2024. 27th of February 2020. (3:58 a.m). Not much sleep tonight, but I have been sleeping 12 hours for the past few nights. Oh dear goddess, I would kill to sleep a good solid 12 hours again without pee breaks. Just sleep the sleep of the almighty and the just. Oh, pardon me. The powerful and the protected and the deeply loved. That would be lovely. Healing Yes, healing my skin from within knocked me off my socks. I am really tired, but my brain is just motoring along. I guess I will crash and burn after I write this. Just saying out loud that I need to sleep or complaining on Facebook seems to settle my mind sometimes. I feel happy though, happy to be alive in the comfort of my bed with Penny beside me, mindfully powering up, and looking back on my life and astonished at how much I have overcome and grown through in the past 5 years, meaning since my suicide attempt, people. I did a lot of exponential growth in the last 8.5 years. It's been intense and powerful and astonishingly poignant and beautiful too. But it's been a journey, a long, hard journey. Even with my current illness, this morning I suddenly realised that I have been living in 5 yearly snatches, 45 to 50, Mum's death, the will dispute, then finding my feet after settlement at 47, falling in love with another hopeless case, Rolls Eyes, when I was 49, people, about to turn 49, set-ups and defamation threats, and the not completely ridiculous suicide attempt given the stressors of 2015, which happened when I was 50. Then, 50 to 54, almost 55, healing my body and mind after that stymied attempt, teeth, nerve pain for 3 years, then leg pain. My daughter returning from England, which was in early 2018. 2017, aged 52, seems to have been a turning point for me as I see it in my writing. So in 2017, the beginning of 2017, I was 6 months free of all psych meds, and my mind just began to just bloom again, being able to think clearly again and synapse and have my own emotions, which in yesterday's video you could see I was very flubbery and emotional, and I moved in and out of between crying over nothing to laughing over nothing. It was almost a mania, people. But 2017 was indeed a turning point. I could see I was more grounded, and I was thinking with such great clarity. It was a huge gift. I'd like to have that clarity back. When I sleep, I'll get that clarity back. I could achieve so much if I had that clarity. I'm pretty clear most of the time, but at the moment I do feel like I'm in a kind of a fugue state, because I'm just drifting in and out of my body and my mind, and just I can actually feel my spirit sort of hovering somewhere over here or over here, and I'm not quite fucking integrated, and that's not good, people. I like myself integrated completely, especially like what happened at the club on Friday when that man was being harassing and annoying. I was so fucking grounded and integrated. I lifted to my feet in a millisecond and raised, and actually they all got kind of a fright. There's that silly old, probably thought I was drunk, right? Never assume I'm drunk, people. Even under the influence of many Jack Daniels, I can galvanise myself in a millisecond. Used to scare the shit out of hard-boiled, hard-wired bikies in a certain clubhouse in Brisbane when they'd see me galvanise. Be like, how'd you do that, love? My angels. It's not actually my angels. It's a backhanded gift from decades and decades of trauma. Any soldier or sailor or military person will know will nod politely and understand completely what I'm saying here. Under threat, I can galvanise in a nanosecond, and I did. I was even a bit astonished. I thought, all right, so I'm up on my feet, holding my own, looking a bit threatening. What next? There's 5 men, quite capable of killing me. Women get killed every day by their husbands and lovers and sons and brothers. And what does Psychedelic Dreamer do? Go into warrior goddess mode. But as my psych said to me, it's not so much my ability to galvanise and jump up. It's how my eyes will project. He said, it's utterly, utterly terrifying, Tanya. Well, I don't do that to be malevolent or nasty. It's just a protective device for me. Really, primarily, it's self-protecting. Because I've been strangled too many times by, 2 of those men were supposed to be men who loved me, right? So if you see me go like that, it is a trauma response, but it's also a potential life-death situation because I'm galvanizing my spirit to protect my little short, fat hobbit body. It's been put through too much at the hands of other humans, so it won't suffer fools. It meaning me, myself, and I. I won't suffer fools. I won't suffer bullies or threateners. I will die. I know, very likely, if it comes to it, I will die on my feet, people. There'll be no lying down and accepting the unacceptable. But I didn't really have much say in the 3 strangulations either. One was such a coward, he had me held backwards over a balcony by the throat, and I knew if I fought back he just would have pushed me off the balcony and broken my neck anyway. So I had to go within. And the other 2, my little baby 7-year-old daughter was having to pummel Terry on his back and try and pull him off me, and eventually the neighbours came out, pulled him off me, but that was awful. And the event with Davidson was also awful. It's the ultimate act of barbarism to strangle someone because you're actually having to murder them eyeball to eyeball, right? Takes a bit of doing, as they found out when my eyes conflagrated my spirit. They all 3 of them eventually let me go. But the weird thing is, why, when other women died at the hands of their monsters, was I let go and allowed to live? Davidson sat down and cried like a fucking baby and wanted sympathy from me, who he'd just attacked, right? This is how fucked in the mind he was. Sad fucker. That's all right. He haunts me in my dreams now, trying to interfere in my friendships and my sweetness in my life out of probably still some low-level demonic envy and enmity. And I mean, it's just a cuntish thing. It really is. But I ain't afraid of no ghost. It's the living you've got to worry about. Just saying. Or the living that are demonic, ridden by something really, truly bloodthirstily evil. That's when it gets dangerous, people. But anyway, here I carry on with my writing. Getting clear of all psych meds in June 2016. Funny I mention it. And that peculiar haunting by Davidson schmuck really healed me in mysterious ways. Yeah, because in a sick kind of way, even Jared wondered what was wrong with me. He said, "Why are you so happy about this haunting?" I said, "Proves that my love was never wasted." He couldn't move into the next dimension because there was still that bind. It proved that my love was authentic and high caliber and powerful. But what good is it if you're not loved in return and safe and honouring and soul nourishing and nurturing kind ways? What good is it if you love a monster? It's all shit, people. So, see, I just hang in the balance sometimes. My little infinity symbol, yin and yang, floating, a little bit untethered at times, trying to make sense out of nonsense, which my former friend and forensic psychiatric nurse, Gail Roth Allison, or Gail Dool, or whatever fucking alias she performs under these days, used to say to me, "You can't make sense out of nonsense, Tanya." One of her witty, trite little witticisms she gathered up from 40 years working with forensic psychopathic murderers in the Waco prison system, in the Waco, when it used to be an asylum. I think they're in prisons now, but anyway. You can't make sense out of nonsense, and you can't make a silk purse out of a pig's ear, because God knows I tried that too with Courtney, and you can't make people love you. You can't make people even like you. Can't make people respect you unless you half bloody kill them and put the fear of death into them. But who wants to go through that? And you can't make up for the lost time or the love I poured into enemies. Can never get that back. So here we are, musing on. But I am enjoying the love that has shown me. It's come very late in my life. I wish I had people like you in my life earlier. Well, some of you were around earlier, but I don't know what has happened, what has changed, that you see me now. Probably living through your own fear of death with the COVID epoch made some of you realise, man, I get what Tanya was putting down now. I finally comprehend her. She's not so crazy after all. Did try to tell you that though. Anyway, no regrets, people. If you're finally aligning with me because you finally realise that I actually am a decent, honouring woman, protective and caring, even though I can be fierce at times. If you're finally on my page, welcome. Glad you finally woke up and made it here. But some things were not under our control, people. It was bigger, way, way bigger than most of us could ever have anticipated. 2018 and 2019, I was bogged down by the gallbladder and then the surgery from hell. That was bigger than I could ever have fucking anticipated too. Thank God for the nurses who worked hard to keep me alive. Then going home in agony and deeply traumatised to mostly have to manage alone. More exponential healing, although I am now still struggling with my gut and the freshly frozen skin cancers. 5 months of severe asthma too. But today my skin is healing, the blisters drying and falling off. Less blotchy, undeadable zombie creature now, replete with her residual brains. It's almost the end of February 2020. What will I be like if I live another 5 years? Hopefully happy, peaceful, and loved. Amen, sister. In this world or the next, only the gods can decide. What a ride. Wow, it's 4 years, so I'm happy, I'm mostly peaceful, and I am feeling very much loved in recent months. So I guess that bodes well for next year, the 5th year since I made that prediction. When I'm 60, all the astonishing things I was promised when I'm 60. Dare I even hope 60 might be happening in the next dimension. They might have meant I only lived to 60, and that's why everything becomes wonderful, because I transmigrate my soul into another reality. I may transmigrate my soul into another reality while still in physical form and have the love I always yearned for, and the peace and the equilibrium and the prosperity. I'm a psychedelic dreamer. I forever live in hope, people. Great hopes. It's astonishing at times. It's my magic. It's why I'm alive today when others aren't. Cleaving to my gods and my magic and that illusory, desultory trickster called hope that lied to me many times before, so I never know. I'll never know if it's a reality that's going to be really becoming, or if it's just more Pollyanna wishful thinking. But it's a beautiful day. The sun's come out now. It was looking murky before. So in a moment, even the weather gods can change their mind on a whim, as they did on Sunday at drumming. I might just close my curtain, because it's a lovely man. He's gorgeous and very sweet and kind to me. Māori or Pacific Islander man, delivery man. But I'm sitting here in my sarong with nothing on underneath, people, which you can't tell, but he'll be able to tell, and a parcel may be arriving. I hope I don't have to fricking sign for it, because then I'll have to go and put on a dressing gown. Because he's a lovely man, but he doesn't need this level of intimacy, people. It's too much. It's a little bit sweet on me, I think, too. Maybe not, but he's kind to me, which sometimes is pretty much the same thing at times. I'm feeling bemused that the spirits are now communicating with me on occasion with alchemical symbols, except I am not fluent in alchemy. So a symbol I was shown during trance drumming. Wait a minute, is he stopping? No, he's going. Okay. He's turned the corner. But sometimes he saves me for last. I think just so an excuse so he can walk up and hand me the parcel, right? Oh no, he's not creepy. He's a gorgeous man. Like all gorgeous men, very likely married too. But anyway, he's not creepy. He's a sweet soul. Recognises my mana, my old lady mana. Anyway, I don't have to worry now. I don't have to run and throw clothes on and panic. So where was I? Let's rewind. Sorry. So a symbol I was shown during trance drumming turns out to be the alchemical symbol of tin, or Jupiter, and the one I received the other night before falling asleep was for lead, or Saturn. No idea what it means or what the spirits or higher mind is telling me. I think they were trying to tell me that I was going to be working in silversmithing because, you know, part of making alloys like for copper, I think has, I'm not sure if it has tin in it. But anyway, I think that's what they were trying to tell me. You think they would have just said, next year you're going to get with the program, Tanya, and you're going to have a crack at silversmithing and you're going to enjoy it. Like, speak plain English. Don't send me weird ass alchemical symbols that I didn't know what they meant. They like to be cryptic with me at times. But there was a Jupiter and Saturn conjunct, I think, that year, or early the following year as well. So there was a cosmic shift, and I think also the spirits were talking about that more than me personally with my silversmithing. It's not all about me, people, believe it or not. This is she making very egocentric videos for YouTube about my trauma processing. But the reason is I want my story, my personal life histories preserved. And I believe it may be helpful to someone who's struggling with similar issues, somebody perhaps younger. I didn't have wise guides when I was young to get me through that hellish existence. So it would have been handy if I could have had a video to look at and go, oh yeah, she went through that in 1996. That's how she got through it, mostly just one day at a time, keeping on breathing and lots of crying and praying and preparing to die most of the time. But I got through everything, and that, my friends, is astonishing. 11:01 a.m. Make a wish. I wish and pray that my angels and spirits and ancestors that love me communicate in a more clear and concise manner so I know exactly what they're instructing or guiding me, or exactly what is expected of me. Oh, and can they please stop putting me in vile toxic environments, i.e. danger. I am not well, and it takes ages for me to recover from toxic people. Thanks, O holy ones. From Tin Pot Alley to a lead balloon, Mama T turns shit to spiritual gold with no love or money, but an iron will. Fly high over the mountain, little one. We have your back. Okay. Thor is pounding his hammer right now. Intense humidity, but it will bring rain. 27th of February 2019. Oh. This was before, I would have been quite ill. This was before the gallbladder surgery that happened on 25th of June that year. But yeah, looking happy, relatively happy. Bobo likes his new garden bed that I got off the side of the road in the curbside collection. Sweet little Bobo. I need to get a new one. That one's kind of rotted out now, but then I guess I don't need it since there's no Bobo to need it for a dog bed. So no, I won't replace it. I'll let it go. Might even put it out on the curbside collection where happening. This time it'll go to the tip because it's broken down now. But this was when I finally got rid of my mother's couch and other bits and pieces of furniture. Right, bye-bye old crap. Oh dear goddess. Well, I won't have much to put out this time, just that spa bath that's all rusted out. I think I'll let that go. I use it for the birds and I put a plastic liner on it, but it's leaking even with the liner now. So I think I'll let it go and I'll just buy one of those little plastic little paddling pools to have as a bath for the birds. They're only about $20. I've wanted to replace that square spa bath, but I haven't seen any lying around. But you know what's funny? Someone else might have one out that's not as rusty as mine out in the curbside. You never know your luck in the big city, people. Manifest. Always manifest. But anyway, I had my debrief. My doctor agrees. Bear in mind this was 2019. Was it? Did I say 2019? Yes, 2019. My doctor agrees that Australia is in shock about PAL, but that the delayed reactions will manifest in March. I think so too. He referred to the Ides of March, which is a potent time in our collective consciousness, back from still affecting us from Roman days, 15th of March. But for me, it was already a fucking dissociative crisis because it triggered all my trauma issues. This is such a huge catalyst for societal change. For centuries, the Catholic Church has raped, tortured, and vilified its victims. But this is the first time an Australian cardinal has been convicted. The first time we, as Australians, cannot distance ourselves from the truth, nor blame it on distant third world countries with our usual NIMBYism. Nup, this man is all ours, our own manifestation of perversion and blight. Fellow survivors like me will experience varying degrees of disassociation, rage, and trauma reactions. But we are finally vindicated. Not so crazy after all. Our society needs cleaning and healing from the top to the bottom, and well, ironically, this little societal discard has her own house in order, unconsciously preparing for the big bang of justice and the natural paroxysms of fallout that comes with it. My doctor reiterated that I did well to survive my own childhood and adulthood without succumbing to being a heroin addict or a street prostitute in a gutter somewhere. Like so many others who could not cope with the brutal reality that they were not safe as children. But my youth, I was just going to say that's a euphemism, people, at the very least a euphemism. But my survival came at a huge personal, dear goddess, where did that go? Oh, here it is. But my survival came at a huge personal cost. The stink of victimhood that cost me career, relationships, wealth creation. The albatross around my neck I tried to shuck off all my life, but that fetid bird flew back and perched on my shoulders. I learned to love it. To you, albatross. The seeping rot of my own failure to thrive. Zombie corpse, gay divorcee, after all. Gay in the French version of gaiety. Just saying. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm an LGBTIQ ally, but I'm just for the sake of heaven and for truth's sake, I'm not gay. Not that there is anything wrong with being gay. That's what I'm trying to say here. My fucking superpower, being a zombie corpse gay divorcee after all. I'm going to be okay. At least we're seeing justice being done and are holding each other precious, blowing life back into the forgotten and broken, holding hands across the world, cheering each other on. L'chaim, who knew? L'chaim means to life. So when we toast each other, Jews, we always say, L'chaim, to life. Choosing life, life being a great gift in Jewish philosophy, right? At times it is a great gift, at other times a ghastly horror, but let's focus on the great gifts and why we're still choosing it. And all of a sudden, all the sunshine just drained away. Now we're immersed in murky grey again. Weird weather we're having, in my opinion. Very weird weather. I woke up with the melody and the words from a song in my head. Nothing breaks like a heart. Pause, because there's lyrics in between that, but I couldn't remember them. This world keeps turning. Penny was bouncing around the wooden floors like a kitten. I had to pee anyway. So hooray, and up she rises. Another day in paradise. Dave, oh, I'm so sick of that man. Dave has been on my mind, but only because he showed up to spy briefly on Friday night, which was the 5th anniversary of our passionate sexual encounter. I doubt he remembers that though, just thinks he is fucking with my head or misses me. Whatever. I get haunted regularly by exes, dead and alive, so I'm quite accustomed to quantum entanglements and some people's fucked up attachment and personality disorders. Someone calls occasionally to see if I'm going to the casino. Then he turns up. So I can't be sure it's him that used to call because it was a private number, but it's a little bit too much of a coincidence, isn't it? Anyway. Not man enough to meet me on my own level. Has to hide behind the skirts of other women and his henchman Stan, who blatantly spies for him and spent much time staring on Saturday night. Sad fuckers that they are. Well, my mother taught me well. A cat can look at a canary. So look, they did. They got quite a few good looks at my ass as I shimmy and shook in front of the bands, not giving a fuck about their voyeurism and their stalking and their weirdness. Used to really grind their gears. Oh, did they hate that? My ability to tune them out and not give a fuck. I owe them nothing. They're nothing to me. But they keep wanting to play that game, so the game had to eventually unravel all by itself, quite naturally, or supernaturally at times. Still a bit astonished how he turned up at the red light opposite the Mount Gravatt Cemetery entrance on the 13th of December. It is a bit astonishing. But real loves are with you, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Real loves are making love with you because they genuinely adore you and value and cherish you, and the rest can just slough off. Just saying. I only keep my true friends in my life. There are no more lovers in my life until such time as I find or meet someone who is genuinely available. There will be no lovers in my life. And I'm okay with that. I had enough crap happen to me over the years with that one. Enough is enough, people. I saw him chatting to a friend of mine that would be Moana. Then looking in my direction, I stared back briefly. What do these men actually want from me? I am not interested in their perverted control dramas. I go out only to dance and have a good time once a week. Be in the world, be wild and carefree. I suppose they want me dead or gone or invisible. But fuck them. I won't be fucked by them or used and abused either. So that drives them crazy. My fierce determination to live my life joyously and on my own terms. Do they not know that my heart was always broken since early childhood, and their games and evil bullshit is writhing all over their faces and skins and energy meridians like a filthy, squirming, toxic plague? 2019, people. But prescient, wasn't it? The stench in real life of their betrayals permeates their inner recesses, and their hearts are empty voids, lacking substance and integrity. They are too stupid to realise that I have walked this life 1,000 times. This is not a new game. I will not be bound to their false love or foul treachery. Freedom. So on Friday I was taunted by the one man I fell wildly and passionately in love with, and then yesterday Cardinal Pell's conviction is announced. So yeah, hammered by the gods again. Nothing breaks like a cracked and shattered but cosmically regrown heart. Tomorrow is Dave's birthday and my former paedophile stepfather, Kees van der Greft's birthday. They failed to kill me. I won. Let's eat, dance, and be merry. Both those men sought power over me. Kees, throughout my childhood, with ongoing threats of rape and or molestation, and at times faking an alliance against my narcopathic mother and others aligning with her against me. No fucking wonder all my adult love affairs with men have been rocked by confusion, delusion, trauma, and emotional, physical, and or sexual abuse. They destroyed me 1,000 times and in 1,000 different ways. But my neshama, my soul, always belonged only to God, and verily, in miraculous ways, God always has my back. Always. Never fuck with a woman raised by monsters, or one who has survived her own obliteration 12 times. She grows back. She loves deeply, profoundly, eternally, but she fucking grows back. February 27th, 2017. The universe has infinite and often unorthodox or unusual ways to heal the mind, body, spirit. In spite of all the toxic poisons we implant in our bodies from food, alcohol, fucking aspartame, and other chemicals laced in our foodstuffs. Glyphosate, DDT, aspartame, all the poisonous colourings. Jesus. No wonder we're all going crazy as a society, losing our shit, literally. In spite of radiation, aluminium, stuff we breathe in, you can add this to the mix as well. Like, for example, I slept all day on Saturday. I woke up feeling energised, but craving water, so went to West End to the river. I had a walk with Beau, but felt quickly weak and tired, so sat under a tree on the ground, earthing. I recovered enough to get us back home. Fatigue overwhelmed me, but I did not give in to sleep, as I had overslept the day before. I spent the night feeling maudlin and exhausted, but sat colouring in while listening and watching wisdom teachings on Gaia.com. Until by 10:30 p.m. I became lightheaded, which I'm feeling that way now, but lightheaded from exhaustion. And from multitasking and concentrating my beleaguered energies so damn hard, the room was literally spinning. So I went to bed and fell instantly asleep. I woke up at 7:17 a.m., 3 exclamation marks. Ridiculous. Now I have a slight cold, which I was probably brewing it for the past 3 days, as that explains the extraordinary fatigue, mood dysregulation, and my fiery spirit supercharging itself, as denial is not just a long river in Africa. I try to be a superwoman when I feel myself spiralling down into illness, chronic illness and fatigue over 5 decades has meant I can only do things in fits and starts, like a flailing fish out of water, hooked by fate, while the fucking hobgoblins stand around and watch me struggle or laugh at me. Yeah, I get it. Watching a chosen one die to herself over and over again is entertaining. Some of us are not given easy, loving, comfortable lives, so we are forced to build and rebuild the sacred from the profane, the extraordinary from the mundane, while wallowing in rivers of epic shit, abuse, betrayal, hatred. I can add to that othering. I know, walked the walk, danced the dance, tranced the entranced, lived through it, loved from sublime to ridiculous. Oh, I can feel you, honey. I can feel you. Just someone just gave me the equivalent of a spiritual cuddle just then. It was lovely. Thank you to my angels. The Holy One and I are partners in the sublime. She, he, it throws me into the fray, and I skip the light fandango in a mosh pit of frenzied fury, inspiration, determination, zesty, blessed, regeneration. Gotta love it. I have no choice. I am on a mission. To where and when and what for, I have no ken. But the universe spins me around and throws me back up on my feet, even when I begged to die. Even suicide was interfered with. Why? Why am I held to this earth against my own free will? because just do it. I am so grateful for the opportunity to healing in strange, nefarious ways. I want what I want, but I begin to see the universe has its own joke at my expense. But she is gifting me with so much more than I could ever dream of. I kept my promise. I begged her to let me live long enough to see my children become independent adults, then long enough to have some fun before I died, then long enough to witness karma bestowed upon my enemies, all 12 of the evil bastards in my lifetime. Schadenfreude is the gift that keeps giving. The smiting continues. But we are all interconnected. What goes down must also rise up. I ask only that those who constantly, in brackets, still damage me, awaken to the powerful light of their own consciousness and deal with their callow, spiteful envy and hatred from within. The rot that pervades them needs cleansing. May the gods wash their souls clean or relegate them to their own paradigm where they can do no more harm to themselves or others. Ooh, I like that one. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes. Good morning, grins impishly. The Tanya greets the day and the night. Another day in paradise. Another gift of life on the fractal of the Merkaba hologram in my personal wrinkle of time. Pardon me, out of mind but happy. Lol. I randomly met this chick named Kirsty one night at the Elephant. I don't know why the photo's disappeared. I'm sure I've put that photo up many times before. For some reason they have taken it down. There's nothing wrong with the photo. It's just her and I clutching onto each other going, yay, into the camera. Anyway, I honour that memory. I met that young woman only once that night and I still honour that memory. Lovely girl she was. I randomly met this chick named Kirsty one night at the Elephant. She came right up to me, told me I was awesome, and she was going to buy me a drink. She was the awesome one. Oh my God. We cut loose on the dance floor. So much fun. What a great gal. Never ran into her again, but still have a happy memory of her kindness and generosity and fun. She was a delight. That sometimes you meet people and you just spend a few hours in their company and there's such a fucking delight and a magic of their own that you never forget them. Probably wouldn't know what she looks like now because we're both older now, but oh, she was lovely. She was such a sweeter, old enough to be, my daughter, or younger even than my own daughters. I think she would have been in her mid-20s at the time. But she was a delight. We had so much fun together on that dance floor. Well, my sniffly nose I inherited from my dog's germs have dried up and instead I have a nice tight sinus headache. Thanks, Beauregard. What doesn't kill you, doesn't kill you, laughing my ass off. It is, however, a bit much when even my dog gives me nice little immune attacking cold germs. It's probably a coincidence because I don't think you can catch colds from dogs. They can catch it from us though, I think. I don't think it goes the other way. I'm not sure. I thought that you couldn't catch flus or colds from animals, but anyway. But I love him anyway, even if he did sneeze in my face several times yesterday. He is much healthier today, so in the way of stale cliches everywhere, this too shall pass. I just love how he lies between and or on top of my feet. Weirdo. Oh, I'd do anything to have you sneeze on my face and lie on my feet again, Beauregard. And he looks particularly lovely there because he's actually had a bath and been brushed by me, which he did not like. He did not like bathies much, except in summertime when it was really hot. And he didn't like being brushed much, but he loved his mama most of the time. I used to grate on his nerves sometimes too, though. Poor Bobo, he put up with a lot. 27th of February 2016, all ready for another wild night dancing. Mission X tonight. Oh, wow. These were my glory days when I got a bit slimmer because I used to dance 4 or 5 nights a week at that point in time. I was dancing a lot. I've still got that wiggle skirt, but I can't fit it anymore, but I still fit the corset. So it's weird about the wiggle skirt. I must have too much padding in my posterior, darlings, that I can't wiggle around in it anymore. But anyway, maybe I'll get one made again, because I could never find a replacement for it. It was from a designer type, gothic, alternative type design company, and I could never find another skirt the same. So I guess the answer to that is take it to a proper, well-trained, knows her shit seamstress and get her to copy it for me in a larger size. I can wiggle in and out of the club and wiggle in and out again, looking all sexy, and all the men in the club will go, "Who's that girl not running around with me? Tell me, why is that? 'Cause you have to prove you're worthy. Tell me." Oh well, I had fun. I had fun in that wiggle skirt. I had very, very much fun. Here is a photograph of my fish pond, which I absolutely adored. They made me get rid of it, the bastards. My big pond. They made me get rid of 3 of my ponds. I don't know what their rationale behind that was. How does it impact on anyone's life if I have 3 or 4 fish ponds as opposed to just one? Just fuckers is what they are. Absolute fuckers. But anywho, life goes on. I've kept one. My psychiatrist wrote a letter that I'm allowed to keep 2, but I thought I'll just keep 1. They stressed me out so much about it and triggered my traumas, and I was crying in a fucking mess over it. Because just spiteful bureaucrats who are envious of you having a bit of fucking happiness in your garden. It's all it really comes down to. That's what that was about. And they picked the timing to make me get rid of my ponds when I was really vulnerable and ill, because I'd just only a month before had that terrible life-threatening surgery where I nearly did die, right? So I wasn't up for yet another fight, but honestly, this is what happens when you have your home stripped from you and you own nothing. They don't even let you be happy when you own nothing, by the way. So don't buy into the WFers bullshit. You will own nothing and be happy. No, you will own nothing, and they will chip away at you and chip away at you and chip away at you and chip away at you until you're dead. So fight with everything you have. Hold on to your wealth if you have it. Hold on to your true beloveds. Hold on to your homes and your gardens for as long as you can. Because ultimately, you're not paranoid. They really fucking are out to get you. Motherfuckers. I mean, I say it half laughing, but it's not funny. It's not fucking funny at all. Anyway, my father-in-law made sure I had a freehold house by the time I was 20. Well, by the time I was married at 19, really, but had another freehold house by the time I was 23 here in Birkdale, in the Redlands. Birkdale's not far from Capalaba, sandwiched between Capalaba and Wellington Point. I had a very nice home, but I had to walk away from it because of the abuse. Had to leave it all behind, and I was never able to replace that home because I wasn't able to work and hold down jobs and study and wealth create. Can't create wealth on a fucking single mother's pension without child support, barely able to feed your kids, by the way. And then when I did finally try and get myself into a job with the traineeship, so much bullying and harassment happened that I never worked again after that. I thought, fuck it. I need to stay sane. My mental health is more important than having money coming in. But ultimately I've paid a hefty price for other people's abuse dynamics and malfeasances. A far too hefty price, including 3 strangulations, being divested of all my wealth over and over again. Anyway, life goes on, people, and if I'm granted longer continuance on this planet, I may yet find a way to wealth create somehow, either from writing or silversmithing or I don't know. That hasn't happened either. It's insane, people. But I Colonel Sanders of KFC infamy developed that business when he was 80 years old after numerous bankruptcies, by the way. So he pulled it together at 80 years of age. There's hope for me yet. I don't anticipate living that long though. My health's been too precarious, but again, stranger things have been known to happen. Got that little bird singing to us again. Oh, he's stopped. Oh, there he goes. Can you hear it? He knows because I sometimes whistle to him and he sings back. He's going through his whole repertoire. See how loved I am by the birds? So when I get despondent and, bordering on fucking psychosis from exhaustion and fugue states and disappointments over my love life not panning out how I would like it to because shit happens, I go out in the garden and I get sung to by the most beautiful singers in the world who are free spirits like me. and often send me auguries and messages, by the way. And then I think, I have a beautiful life in spite of everything that was stolen or raped out of me or strangled out of me. They're only houses and assets and material things. But that, you can't buy that. Charlie's joining in the background. I have to go and spend some time with her soon. She's been on her own today. I'm lying on the lounger with my puppy, listening to the crows chatter behind me, the tinkling fountain, and the wind rustling through the trees, the sound of almost silence in between. My heart is slowly recovering from its recent shock, which was that fucking gorgeous outfit. No, that can't be right. No, I'm not going to tell that story because I can't remember the time frames. But I know what the shock was. I got used again. Sexually used and abused again. Not rape, but just used up and tossed aside like a dirty rag. So, best that fucking gimp can do is follow me around at red lights. He'll never use me again. Ever. Son of a bitch. Anyway. 27th of February 2016. My beautiful gaze, Beauregard and me on the lounger, just chillin'. Here's someone whose love was always real. He was a giver, not a taker, Mr. Beauregard was. In more ways than one, darlings. My little boy. He was a funny looking puppy. He was part Jack Russell and part Shih Tzu and part Maltese, and he was a lovely boy, my angel face. One day I'll have a human man that I'll refer to as my angel face, because he'll be a loving man too, and authentic and genuine, and he won't use me or abuse me or lie to or about me or slander me. He won't fuck my friends. He won't fuck other women. He'll be happy to have me in his life and satisfied and appreciative of all that I am and have to offer. Although, Jesus, he'll have to be a man with his own means, because I've got nothing financially to contribute to the table. It's fucking awful, people. But as my psychiatrist Brian once said to me, he said, "You have plenty to offer, Tanya." I said, "What's that, Brian?" He said, "You have love. Some man will be happy just to be loved by you." He's a beautiful romantic and an idealist like me. But he's right, you know. He's right. There's someone out there that will deeply love me. I know that. I can feel him circling me at times, feel his energy flowing to me. I don't know 100% for sure who it is, but I can sense it. Maybe it's someone that I haven't met yet, but they're presenting their energies ahead of time. Who knows? Who knows? I'm so tuned into the multiverses that at times I do sense people before I met them, which was what happened with Dave. I actually had been sensing him even before I met him. When I met him, it was just instant, like, oh yes, I recognise your spirit. Unfortunately, I didn't recognise that he was an evil spirit and was going to bring me nothing but hurt, but it is what it is. I had to go through that to grow me back, so I can be grateful for that much, I suppose. 27th of February 2014. Hell yeah. I'm sick to death of scraping my shit-faced friends out of the gutter and dragging them home. I am not your nurse, mother, slave, taxi driver, personal bodyguard, lover. Those guilty of abusing my friendship in this way need to get major counselling, join Alcoholics Anonymous, and take responsibility for their own lives and own their own shit. I drink properly. I enjoy my drinking, and I make every effort to maintain control over my nightlife. Every woman for herself, pardon me, in the pub from now on. I go out to dance, de-stress, get in the zone, my trance zone by the way, heal by dancing and feeling free and happy. I don't go out to be your rescuer or your ride home or your drama dumping ground. Real friends don't abuse the privilege of hanging out with me. They enjoy my company and I enjoy theirs. Be on notice. I will not take your calls in the night to rescue you or drag you around the city ever again. Life is too short to spend with selfish alcoholics. And I wrote a comment on this article by the Courier Mail. Regardless of what may have set them off, these two young women are a disgrace. Watch as they attack an elderly man on a Queensland bus and thank your lucky stars they're not your kids. And I responded, this kind of rebel-rousing, violent, obnoxious, trashy behaviour is common in Australia. I often have to fight off lunatics and drunks while waiting for the Nightlink bus on my weekends out. It's horrifying how the security, in brackets security, fail to protect lone females also. Today my daughter Crystal was body slammed on a tram in Melbourne as she had her suitcase, and some horrible woman tried to push Crystal out of her way to leave the tram. The tram was packed, so there was nowhere for Crystal to go. Crystal almost hit her head on a support pole on the tram. She rang me, very shaken. I am sick of encountering daily abuse and rudeness and violence. I had my own battle today from so-called professionals mocking me and humiliating me for wanting a script filled for an ongoing condition. This country has gone to the dogs and will only get worse. Yes, indeed it has. 2014, 10 years later, so much worse. I cannot believe the runaround I'm getting for this medication. The new GP refused to write me an authority without seeing the box, so walked me out to get reception to call my psych to confirm he cited the medication and wrote the script. Nuts. We had an argument as he said I was illegally demanding a drug. What the fuck? I am constantly on it. It's not new. I had a script from a consultant specialist. This is the shit I'm put through by our medical system, right? Treated like a fucking drug addict when I needed an actual proper prescription filled. Oh, they're animals. They're absolute animals. 10 years later, they're even worse animals. You don't even dare go to a doctor anymore. It's not safe. I haven't been to a GP in quite some time now. There's a few things I need to do. I need a script for Ventolin and Seretide. That doesn't always work, by the way. I need a script for some other issue I get from time to time, but for fuck's sake, I'm avoiding them like the plague, literally like the plague. Awake and aware, beware, lol. Am at chemist picking up meds, then we'll be back home to play with Ramon in the garden. P.S. Fucked over by the government. My psych gave me a non-authorised script for another medication I needed urgently, and I couldn't afford to see my GP this week. So the chemist girl made an appointment next door at the bulk billing doctor's, so I now have to sit around for an appointment to get my bloody script. Outrageous. Then he made me jump through hoops even more. It's just systemic abuse and bullying is what it is. It's a drug I needed daily, and it's not something I could get high on, and I am livid, as I am being treated like a junkie because I am poor on a disability pension, or a woman, or old, or I don't know what their fucking othering was about that day, but it was catch-22 crazy making. I thought these people are functioning as doctors and jobs, and they're so fucking crazy. Should be locked up in an asylum, that lunatic, that GP I saw. He was that fucking nasty and savage and acopic. Fucking idiot. He was probably high on something. Probably snorted something before I came for the appointment. You wouldn't know, would you? Fuck me. You can't trust any of them. There's only one doctor I trust completely, and that's my psychiatrist, because he's demonstrated that he's trustworthy over 13 years. The rest, just have to shake my head. I'm very nervous. I'm building up nerves because on the 11th I've got to go to the Mater Public Hospital Urology Department. Well, that's going to be probably difficult. Hoping not, but I always anticipate the worst, right? Dealing with our public health system. They really are monstrous, how they've treated me over the decades, including throwing out my patient file, my entire Queen Elizabeth Hospital patient file. Evil is what they are. Evil and incompetent and dangerous and evil. My doctor is not on today, and as I am broke and had barely enough money to pay for my medications, I would not have had money up front to see her anyway. I hate seeing new doctors. Yes, I do. Still to this day, I hate that. My grandson, Ramon, the rare rabbit, is here. We had awesome cuddles after I set up his cage area in my backyard, in my back room. He's been lovely. He was lovely, my beautiful boy. Crystal's beautiful boy, but my beautiful grandson boy. I was worried he might sulk about living at Grandma's for a few days, but he's been good so far. Tomorrow I will sit with him in the garden and feed him bamboo shoots and read to him. Lovely. Something straight out of Miss Beatrix Potter. Probably did read him Beatrix Potter actually, in the garden. Why not? I miss him so much. I miss Beauregard. Sometimes I miss my daughter, but I can't have her in my life now that she's turned into such a savage. It's not tenable, people. Have to let some souls go, even when it's your own, fruit of your own loins. 27th of February 2013. My incredible shrink. That's a joke on the Incredible Shrinking Man, but it sounds disrespectful, I know, but we had a bit of a fight. But I call him my shrink anyway as an abbreviation, and I don't disrespect him. I hold him in very high regard indeed. He's a wonderful, wonderful man, a wonderful human being, and a wonderful psychiatrist. But here I write in 2013, my incredible shrink apologised to me. I banged my drum, hit his wall, and he accepted that my worst fear had been triggered. Overall, he's a damn fine doctor, and I do respect a man who knows when he was going wrong and not too proud to say sorry. That's why I love him, because he's honourable towards me. So I will keep seeing him. I need to feel safe, comfortable, and happy for as long as I can. He agreed, so all good in the hood. Earlier I wrote, off to see the Incredible Shrinking Man. I wish it were the Wizard of Oz, because at least I would know which smoke and mirrors I were dealing with. And I wrote the other day, actually, he reminds me very much of the magician in the tarot card, wielding his power, but judiciously and protectively and wisely, flowing the magic down from above to below and looking after little old me, right? To you, Brian. So in that respect, you are the Wizard of Oz. And he's spiritual too, understands my walk, which I'm very fortunate to have a psychiatrist that understands the occult and my spirituality, because some other shrink, and I say that in a derogatory way, some other malfeasant, ignoble, ignorant shrink would have committed me because they don't understand about the spirit world and they would have just thought I was crazy. So I was very fortunate to have this wonderful doctor who, he knows when my mental health is spiralling down, which it kind of is at the moment from exhaustion. Like he's not going to lie to me, but he knows when I tell him about my spiritual experiences that, number one, I'm not lying. Number two, they are my reality and they're not hallucinations or confabulations. And he gets it. He gets it. And he's been able to support me through quite some astonishingly weird stuff, like the David Davidson haunting, for example. That was intense. Really intense, especially as I just finished my last psych med, only I think 3 days before, and then he haunted me. So I thought I was backsliding into some kind of madness and hallucinating, but then no, I knew I wasn't, because I'd look at Beauregard and he was just as frightened of whatever was at the door as I was. So I knew my dog can't be psychotic. If I'm psychotic, the dog can't be psychotic, right? And my doctor agreed. Psychosis is not contagious from dogs. Although in truth, I probably drove Beauregard mad a few times in his life with my high levels of stress and trauma activation. He didn't have an easy time with me. He was a beautiful doggy, but he had a very stressful life, in my opinion. But then Jared said, no, he didn't. He loved you with everything that he was, and he had a good life with you, Tanya. Stop being so hard on yourself. Sometimes I feel a bit guilty, though, because there was a lot of stressors from the time I had him till now, till last year when he passed away. Anyway, 28th of February 2012. So sad and lonely, even though I went out today with Gail, Christina and little Talia. Not sure what this foul mood is about, but I am into day 3 of major blues. Perhaps the bailiff arriving at my door last Monday has triggered a delayed reaction. Or perhaps I am sick trying to hold on to my emotions and travel the light and breezy pathways. Tomorrow I go to debrief with my psych, but really not sure what there is to debrief. I hate feeling this fragile. Oh well, always tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. 27th of February 2011. Pardon me. Today I bought a brand new Bosch top loader washing machine with the immense generosity of an anonymous donor. I'm so excited and can't wait for it to be delivered so I can get my mountain of washing done. I really enjoy washing and drying clothes, like my dear mother of blessed memory, well, in her case, not so blessed memory, but I was being polite to my dear mother, which I could do on occasion when I was in denial about what a monster she really was and is and ever shall be, as she evolves in the spirit world, but who knows. So this will be just fantastic. I'm the luckiest woman in the world. So today that washing machine is 13 years old and I need to buy a new rubber seal inside it because it's peeling away, and I replaced that about 5 years ago, so it's due again. But 13 years and the machine still works, so it was indeed top quality machine. And thank you again to my beautiful benefactor. Tomorrow's another day. Wake me up when it's over. Hugs all. 27th of February 2010. This was in response to me mentioning yesterday that my sister was flying to be with our mother, just to see her, I wanted her to actually get closure before Gisela died. I thought it would be a healing experience for her, but she turned it into another fucking monstrous thing. She's an asshole, but what can I say? So, my friend Tania, who called herself Nanny Dubs, wrote, "Hi Tan, just make sure you eat well and get rest as much as you can. Take turns and don't feel you doing it all on your own. Your sister is there now. So get as much rest time as you can, as you're going to need it." And I wrote back, "Thanks Tania." Her name's pronounced Tania. And I'm Tanya. There's a slight difference there. I'm totally mentally, physically and emotionally wrung out, and Mum hasn't gone yet. I'm dreading her last day on earth, as I will be with her, and having supported my stepfather through his own death in 1995, I really know how difficult, heart-wrenching and plain mind-altering it all can be. I expect I will be with Mum alone for her time. It's been lovely and a minor miracle that Mum got to see both her daughters for the 2 days Angela was here. But the viciousness was unbelievable. So no, it wasn't a minor miracle for me. It was just another fucking epic nightmare. But anyway, I soldiered my way through that, and then Mum died on the 7th of March 2010, and I soldiered my way through that, and I soldiered my way through the funeral, and I soldiered my way through the will dispute, and here I am, 14 years later, still soldiering my way through whatever comes my way. Hopefully lots and lots more true love and happiness and peace. By the gods, I deserve that much. 27th of February 2009. And you don't get it because you deserve it, but I certainly hope I do. Would be nice, wouldn't it? To the multiverses. 27th of February 2009. I loved Crystal's performance in The Tempest as Gonzalo. Way to go, Crystal. You rock. I was so proud of her. And I'm still proud of her acting ability, but less proud of the way she treats me now, but it is what it is. Mother Hydra's babies brought out the worst in her. It is what it is, people. Only the gods can forgive, because I'm a bit done now. But on that note, it's now 12:51 p.m. I'm exhausted, and I need to spend some time with Charlie. But I think I will try and have a little nap, because I am very exhausted today. I was exhausted yesterday too. I've been exhausted all fucking weekend and Monday, now it's Tuesday, so I'm going to be gentle with myself and love myself in all the ways that I deserve to be loved. I'd go out and get some chocolate, but I'm too fucking tired, so see how I feel. I'll have to get something for dinner later on tonight, though. I've got some mince left over that I cooked up, which is enough for dinner tonight. So if I feel too tired, I'll just eat that for the second day in a row. Won't kill me. Don't like eating the same meal 2 days in a row. Eating leftovers and leftovers and leftovers. That's the hangover from my childhood with my World War II surviving mother and stepfather's obsession with food economy, because, well, let's face it, they knew privation, real fucking starvation and privation, so they had some weird ideas about food, but and I get it, but I like to have variety in my life, so I'll probably eat that leftover mince tonight, but tomorrow I'll have something different. Anyway, goodbye for now. Have a beautiful day in the space-time continuum. Blessed be from sacred space at Titania's realm.